Hi everyone, welcome back to the CAD FX channel. Are you struggling to print your AutoCAD drawings to the correct scale? Don't worry. In this video, I'll guide you step by step on how to create a professional layout in AutoCAD. By the end, you'll know how to set up your page, add viewports, and prepare your drawing for printing. And make sure you stay until the end, because I'll also share a special trick that you don't want to miss. Before we begin, let's quickly understand the difference between model space and layout space in AutoCAD. When working in AutoCAD, there are two environments, model space and paper space. Model space is where you create and design your drawing. You can access it from the Model tab. Paper space, on the other hand, is where you prepare your drawing for printing, and it's accessible from the Layout tabs. By default, you start working in model space. Think of it as a limitless drawing area, where you always draw at a 1:1 scale. That means if you're drawing a wall that's 3 meters long, you draw it as 3 units. It's up to you to decide whether those units represent millimeters, centimeters, inches, or feet. The key point is, in model space, you always draw at real-world size. Now, let's talk about layout space, also called paper space. This is where you prepare your drawing for printing. In layout space, you can set up sheets with title blocks, notes, and multiple views of your drawing. Each view is placed inside a viewport. These viewports show your model at different scales, for example, 150 or 1:100. In layout space, 1 unit equals 1 unit on the printed sheet. So, if your sheet is in millimeters or inches, the layout reflects that directly. For this tutorial, I'll be using a drawing layout that I've already prepared in advance, and it includes different views such as the plan, section, and elevations. We'll be using this drawing as the base for our layout tutorial. Okay, let's first check a few dimensions in this model using the distance command. As you can see, this drawing has been created at the actual scale, which means it's drawn 1:1. Now that we've confirmed the scale is correct, the next step is to switch over to the Layout tab. Next, let's learn how to add a new layout. This drawing already has an existing layout, but for this tutorial, I'm going to create a new layout. This way, I can show you step by step how to start fresh and set up a layout from scratch. There are several ways to do this. 1. You can use the Layout command and give a name for new layout. 2. You can right-click an existing Layout tab and click New Layout. 3. Click plus mark next to the existing Layout tab. 4. You can step through the Create Layout wizard, or you can use Design Center. Okay, the easiest way to create a new layout is to simply click the plus icon next to the existing Layout tabs. This instantly creates a fresh layout where we can start setting up our page and viewports. Each layout has its own page setup, which controls how it looks when displayed and printed. In the Layout tab, the first thing we need to do is open the Page Setup Manager. You can do this by right-clicking on the Layout tab and selecting Page Setup Manager, or by using the Page Step command. When you open the Page Setup Manager and click New, several options are displayed. First is New Page Setup Name. This is where you specify a name for your new page setup. Next is Start With, which lets you choose an existing page setup as a starting point. When you click OK, the Page Setup dialog box opens with the settings of the selected page setup, which you can then modify as needed. If you open the New Page Setup dialog box from the Sheet Set Manager, only the named page setups in the Page Setup Overrides file will be listed. Let's review the Page Setup dialog box options one by one. Plot Scale controls the size of drawing units relative to the paper. You can choose Fit to Paper to scale automatically, or set an exact scale using the Scale, Inch or mm, and Custom options. You can even define a custom scale if needed. For a perfect printout match, your chosen scale needs to be based on the units you used in the drawing. But remember, you can always adjust that scale later if you're printing to a different paper size or have a unique project requirement. Scale line weights. Scales line weights proportionally to your plot scale, ensuring objects print correctly. Plot style table or pen assignments allows you to control how colors and line types are printed. You can edit, create, or select a plot style table and toggle display plot styles on or off. Then quality specifies the resolution for shaded or rendered views. Options range from draft wireframe to maximum full resolution. You can also set a custom DPI value for rendered plots. Plot options include several important settings. You can choose these options as your requirements. Plot object, line weights to include assigned line weights. Plot transparency, for transparent objects. Plot with plot styles, to respect plot style assignments. Plot paper space last, to control the order of model and paper space plotting. Hide paper space objects, to hide objects in a paper space viewport if needed. The next setting is drawing orientation. This option lets you set your sheet to portrait, or landscape, or even plot upside down if required. Finally, preview lets you see exactly how your drawing will appear on paper before plotting, helping you catch any issues before printing. Using the settings and options we just discussed, I prepared my page setup like this. My goal here is to create a PDF of this entire layout. I selected monochrome as my plot style because I require a black and white print. A quick reminder, if you are working on a specific project, or if your company mandates the use of special plot styles, you must use those instead. Keep that in mind. And then, I simply press the OK button to finish my page setup. Next, click the Set Current button to apply this configuration as the active setup. With that, our page setup is complete. Now, the next major step is to create and arrange the viewports. You can create viewports in AutoCAD using several methods. 1. Using the command line. Simply type viewports into the command line. Choosing the menu bar, go to the View menu, then Viewports, and select the method that suits your needs. 3. Using the tool palettes, click on the Layout tab, and then use the appropriate tool to create your viewports. Okay, let's create a few viewports now, specifically using the Layout tab tools. Before we start, remember this: AutoCAD automatically creates a rectangular viewport every time you generate a new layout. When preparing your viewports for printing, I highly recommend creating a dedicated viewport layer. This gives you easy control, as you can quickly turn the viewport borders on or off without affecting any of your other drawing elements. So now, I'm going to create a new layer named VP and set it as my current layer. Since we're creating our own viewports, I'll go ahead and delete the default one that was automatically created. Okay, let's create a rectangular viewport using the Rectangular tool in the Layout tab. After selecting the tool, simply click anywhere in the paper space and draw a rectangle to define your viewport area. As soon as you finish drawing it, all the objects from your Model tab will immediately appear inside this new viewport. Now, we arrive at the very important part of this tutorial: scaling the viewport. You can change the scale easily using the Properties panel. First, select the viewport. In the Properties panel, you can either choose from the available standard scales or enter your own custom scale. And, of course, you can easily change the size of the viewport by dragging its edge points. For this project, I'm choosing a 1:200 scale, as I find this scale is the most suitable for my layout and page size. Now, let's adjust the viewport size to perfectly fit our page. This current page needs to be A1 size. So, let's go back and edit the page setup to reflect that. I'm choosing A1 now and won't change any other settings, then I'll click Apply. Now, we'll use the Move command to place that viewport in the correct location. And that is the complete process for creating a viewport and changing its scale to suit your needs. Okay, let's move on and try the next tool, the Polygonal Viewport tool. Using this tool, you can create a custom, multi-sided viewport to meet your specific layout requirements. A key feature of the Polygonal Viewport is that its shape is controlled by a polyline. You can edit this polyline at any time, and as you change the polyline's shape, the viewport's boundary will automatically update to match it. This allows you to easily modify the shape whenever needed. Let's explore another method available in AutoCAD, creating viewports from existing objects. First, I'll draw some shapes directly onto the layout, such as a circle and another shape using the polyline. Then, we can use the Object tool to quickly convert these existing shapes into working viewports. And, just like before, after creating them, you can change the scale using the method I showed you previously. These are the main methods we can use to create viewports in AutoCAD. Next, we have another important topic to explore. Let's check it out. We can also clip an existing viewport using a polyline. Let's see how to do it. First, you need to draw the boundary you want to use for the clipping directly on top of the current viewport using the polyline tool. Once your polyline is drawn, activate the Clip tool. First, select your target viewport, and then select the polyline boundary. Just like that, your viewport is clipped. This technique is incredibly helpful for specific civil-related projects, such as road alignments or dam layouts, where you need no rectangular boundaries. Now, you have to know another important point. Sometimes, when you adjust the viewport's boundary or even try to pan inside it, the scale can accidentally change. This leads to errors. To prevent this, AutoCAD allows us to lock our viewports to keep the scale exactly where it should be. You can do this by selecting your viewport, going to the Properties panel, and under the MISC section, selecting Yes for the Display Locked option. Now, we need to add a title block to the page layout to include project, company, and other necessary details. You can incorporate a title block using either a block or an XREF, external reference method. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the XREF method. I already created the title block in a separate file, and I'll now reference it onto this page. Now, I'm going to show you another secret method to automatically add the drawing name or layout name using AutoCAD Fields. To do this, go to the Insert menu and then select Field. In the dialog box that appears, select Other under the Field category. Next, choose System Variables from the Field Names list, and then select the System Variable, C tab. Select the format you require, press OK, and then place the resulting text in the appropriate location within your title block. Now, let's test it by changing the layout name. After the change, you'll need to regenerate the drawing. You can do this using the Regen command. You can now see that our text automatically changed to match the new layout name. We're almost done with our tutorial now. I'm going to show you how to copy, delete, move, or arrange your layout tabs or pages. To do this, right-click on the layout tab you want to adjust. Then, select Move or Copy. From the dialog box, select the position where you want to move the layout. If you need to create a duplicate, simply check the box that says Create a Copy. Press OK to finish the process. You can also do this with a shortcut. If you just want to move a layout, simply click and drag the Layout tab to the position you want. And if you want to copy it, hold down the Control key while you click and drag the tab. You can see how that allows you to manage your pages in a simple and efficient way. Next, I'll show you another important time saver, an easy way to create a page setup by importing an existing layout from another CAD file. To do this, right-click on any layout tab and select the From Template option. You'll then select the AutoCAD file that contains your required layout. Finally, select the layout name you want to import into our working file. You'll see that all the objects from that earlier file, including the title block and viewports, were imported completely as a new layout. When you import a layout this way, all the associated page setup data is also imported to the new layout automatically. Finally, I'll show you one last feature. You can export this layout to the model space as an entirely new drawing file. To do this, right-click on the Layout tab you want to export and select Export Layout to Model. After you select the location where the new file should be saved, AutoCAD will export everything from your layout into a clean, new model space drawing. Now you can print your layout using all the page setup settings we configured. To start, right-click on the Layout tab and select Plot. You should always check the preview before printing, so click the Preview button to review the output. If everything looks good, hit OK to plot. Since we set our page up to create a PDF, you'll select the location to save the PDF file. Alternatively, if you need a hard copy, you would select your physical printer here. Now, for the ultimate time saver, if you have multiple layouts that need to be printed with the same page setup, you can plot them all at once using the Publish command. To do this, select all the layout tabs you want to print, then right-click and choose Publish Selected Layouts. The Publish dialog box will appear here. You can confirm your list of layouts. You then need to select the correct page setup. I already prepared a page setup name New, so I'll select all my layouts and assign New as the page setup for every sheet. Now press the Publish button. In just a few seconds, the plotting of all your layouts is finished. Let's check it. You can see all the PDFs were plotted perfectly. And with that, we've covered the complete workflow for professional sheet setup in AutoCAD. We started with page setup and mastered creating, scaling, and locking viewports. You also learned powerful time-saving tricks, like using fields for automation and the essential Publish command for batch plotting multiple sheets at once. Mastering these steps is the key to creating accurate, ready-to-print deliverables every time. If you found this tutorial helpful, please hit the like button, share this video with your colleagues, and subscribe to the CADFX channel for more essential videos like this one. If you have any questions, please comment below. Also, be sure to check out our other useful videos right here on our channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.